Hello, my name's Zane Smith, and this is my new channel that I'm creating called Smith Family Games. This is actually the second video I made because the first video I forgot to turn on the microphone. So we're going to try this all over again and try to make this right. I'll show you a little clip of the hilariousness of me remembering at the very end of my almost 10-minute long spiel of nonsense and then realizing I didn't turn it on. So sometimes I'm not the brightest peanut in the whole universe, but I'm working on it. Anyway, I wanted to make this video to talk about kind of what I'm going to be doing with this channel. It's going to be me and my family. We're going to be making videos of different things. A lot of it will be board games, learning how to play them, doing some play-throughs, doing reviews, unboxings, and a lot of paintings. I do a lot of painting, miniatures and stuff like that. I'm not very good, obviously, so I figure you guys can learn with me. I did a lot of research on how I learned how to do it was YouTube, watching a lot of different videos and stuff like that, and a lot of them are very good videos, and I wish I was half as good as some of those guys, but in this one, we're gonna go and take it a couple steps back, and so we're gonna all try to learn this new stuff together. So welcome, if I haven't said that already. But what I'm gonna have is I'm gonna have my wife. She's gonna be doing a lot of the learn to play videos and gameplay walkthroughs and some of the reviews and stuff like that. One of my sons, he's going to be 4 in May. He's going to be doing the unboxings. He really likes to watch my see the new bad guys. Everybody's a bad guy to him. I don't know. Love him to death though. Anyway, he loves to do that, so we're gonna, do a lot of unboxings with him, and then he's also got some board games of his own that, maybe we can showcase and give some reviews for and everything else like that, and let him be a part of that also. So hopefully that'll go over well. I also wanted to talk about kind of what some of my first videos are going to be. I'm going to put a whole bunch of them on, so you don't have to watch just one crappy video that I'm making now and be like, well, screw this guy. We're going to put a whole bunch of them on here, and I'll put some links in the description above so you can take a look at some of the other ones I have. One of the first videos I'm going to have is a video of an unboxing that I'll do with my son of Instant Paints by, or maybe it's Instant Colors by Scale 75. I kickstarted it and spent way too much money. I got a whole bunch of stuff, and I'll be showing kind of a how-to video on that, on going from all the way from starting out with priming, doing it priming with both with paintbrush, which I'm awful at, and I don't really care to do that, and I do have an airbrush. I've just kind of delved in that a little bit. I'm awful at that too, so but we'll try with that, and we'll go from there, and then we'll go painting and everything else. I've got one of the videos that really caught my eye on theirs was one of their busts. I think his name was Braun or something like that. He was a dwarf. He's really cool looking, big beard and axe in one hand. I mean, you can't be a dwarf and not have an axe, right? But anyway, I picked him up, and I have all their colors, including the artist colors and different colors they had, and they used otherwise that just wasn't their instant colors. But I'm going to try to actually recreate what they had painted using their colors and their process and everything else, and try to do that and see if it's actually even possible. So stay tuned for that. But this is going to be down the way. I have a full-time job, and this is just kind of for fun right now until things, change. If they do or if they don't, it's fine either way. But my full-time job is a mason, and it's taxing. It's pretty hard sometimes, and other times it's not too bad. But I been painting for about 5 years or so, on and off. I've got 2 little boys, and it does take that time down considerably. I probably maybe get 5 hours a week painting if I'm lucky, or doing any kind of gaming or hobbying. And if I want to play a board game, I've got to like pawn the kids off on somebody. Like, grandma, here, take the kids. But that doesn't always work out, and then you only get them for get away from them for about 2 hours. And then if you're trying to learn a new game or something like that, it takes a little while. Then you learn the game, you get to play for 30 minutes, and you're like, oh well, that was awesome, but now I got to put it up. So we're working on it. It's all of a thing, young adult and family and whatnot that we're all learning. So I'm going to work on that together. I do want to say some of the paints that I do use now, mostly I've been using scale 75s, different kinds of paints they have, from their fantasy to even just their, I guess, regular scale color paints. And I really like them. I've used a lot of different paints. I started out with Citadel, and I think pretty much everybody starts with Citadel because it's this thing you can easily find, or maybe even Vallejo and stuff like that. I never really got into those. I went to my game store and everything instead of going to Hobby Lobby or something else. And so I started with Citadel, and I played with that a little bit and everything else. I like them, but they're really expensive, and I didn't think that for the amount you pay, that you get what you pay out of it. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Not that you should believe me for any amount of things, because I'm not an expert at all, but that's my opinion there. And then I delved into my second group of paints, was Army Painter, and I really don't like Army Painter. No. I don't know what it's about it. A lot of people have a good time on it or whatever, but I got it, and they were pretty cheap, and I just don't know. I just could not get the handle of them. They almost all seemed like they were way too thin and thinned out, and not enough pigment in it to stick, and it was just taking forever to do anything with it. And I've had some decent luck with it and everything else, and you just got to shake the piss out of them, and they sometimes work and sometimes they don't. But I'm going to use them because I paid for them, and I'm a tightwad, and so when I buy something, I use it, and so they're going with that. Another paint that I just recently got into was Watercolors. I'm trying some of their out. I actually got a new war game called Conquest, Last Argument of Kings, and I got a couple of sets. Their Dwegum set that I got, and it came with some paints, and it came with watercolor paints, and their new Antithesis set, which is basically their instant colors or instant paints, or Citadel contrast, which I've never actually used the contrast. If I was already complaining about the price on the regular Citadels, I'm definitely complaining about the price of Citadel's contrast paints at $8 a thing. I'm like, no, I'm not spending that much. No, thank you. Anyway, it's theirs, and I've done a little bit with it. I did buy some other sets from that, and it came with more paint, so of course I gave it a try, and then I went ahead and I ordered one of their layer sets and went from there. And I'm not the best painter by far, not even close to being the best painter. There's a lot of guys out there that do a lot of good jobs, and I love to give shout out to the ones I do watch their videos and stuff like that, but I don't know if I can, so I won't for now. But I did do some paints, and I'll kind of show you through some of them and everything else, and show you what I've done, some of the stuff, and hopefully you guys won't be too cruel to me and tell me how terrible I really am, because trust me, I know it's bad. Some of them are really bad, but for the most part I think they're okay, but they're good enough for me, and that's in this hobby, that's all that really matters in the whole thing, is that if it's good enough for you, it doesn't matter what I think or what anybody else thinks, as long as it's good enough for you. And that's what I gotta deal with too. So I gotta be like, okay, that's good enough for me to play a game with, because that's what it, for the most part, what it's about for me, is playing a game and having a good time with my family and, you know, friends and stuff like that. But you know, and maybe down the road, if I get better at it, a lot better at it, you know, 10 or 15 years down the road, when I'm actually good at something like this, then, you know, maybe I can, you know, I don't know, do a contest or something. I don't even know where to go about for that. Anyway, I'll show you a lot of the stuff I've got. I'm going to be doing a lot of different videos, probably more on painting than on a lot of other things, because trying to get my wife and everything, my son all together, you know, trying to get a 3-year-old to like sit down and actually make a video and not like just totally bounce off the walls is going to be amazing. We're going to see if that can actually happen or work. I don't know. But so far, I mean, I'm not doing a real great job, considering that I didn't turn on the microphone the last time. So we're trying this out. I did want to give one shout out to my friend from bebbcorp. He donated / sold me the camera and microphone and that setup that I'm using right now. He sold it to me for a can of my homemade pickles, or a jar, I guess, of my homemade pickles, which they're pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty good. But I'm definitely gonna have to give him more pickles, because this is definitely worth way more than one jar of pickles, even though they are very good pickles. But we're gonna shout out to him and tell him thank you. I much appreciate it. If you want to check out his site at bebbcorp harpery, he does mouth harp videos and stuff like that, and he also has his own web store, I believe, where he sells these harps and his own harps that he makes and other harps and stuff like that. So give him a shout out, and you know, thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.